I went to use my Dyson Ball DC40 Vacuum today, and the brushes wouldn't come on. I would hit the button that engages them, and I could hear the the motor energize, but the brushes weren't spinning. So I was pretty sure I did not have an electrical issue. I looked around online, and most people who had this issue, it was just a matter of hair and carpet pile getting tangled up in the brushes. But I had a different issue. Here I'm just kind of reenacting how to take the brush head apart. This happened while I was at work, so this here is the brush when I got it home, and I thought that I was just going to be able to cut all this hair out of it and have it work. Fortunately, it came apart really easy. This thing's simple to work on. There's just some clips to take the head off, and then 4 screws to remove the brushes. Now that I have these brushes off, I can see that the motor turns freely like it should, despite being pretty dirty and having a lot of dust and hair in there. It spins fine. This is my issue right here. The bearings are pretty cooked. I had the vacuum stored in my basement, and I think that sitting on the concrete floor probably wasn't the best thing for it. The both bearings were seized right up. This is the one from the other side. It's even worse. I was a little surprised to see a snap ring holding a sealed bearing in, and I thought before even looking for parts, tried getting the snap ring out, and I was going to replace the bearings, but it didn't go very well. The Getting that snap ring out is easier said than done. I couldn't find something that was small enough and strong enough to get a good purchase on it and get that snap ring out. It doesn't have holes for snap ring pliers, and what I found is that replacing the bearings is actually more expensive than just replacing the whole brushes. That's about 12 or so years worth of hair and dirt right there. So I'm going to take these bearings outside real quick and just give them a quick spray with the penetrating oil, see if I can get them freed up. I was using this at work when it broke, so I just wanted to see if I could free these bearings up and get it working so I could finish the job I was doing, and then go back and order the right parts and fix it properly for the next time I needed to use it. This is where I'm trying to get that bearing out, and I'll put the part number up for the bearing itself if somebody wants to go that route, but I could not find the bearing for less than I could find the whole brush kit. So this worked pretty well. I used the hardened steel of the scissors to kind of bite into the inside of that bearing to get a grip on it and just kind of work it back and forth until the penetrating oil got through it enough to where I could spin it. It was still slightly crunchy, but it worked fine. It's actually been about 2 months since I recorded this video that I'm now editing it, and I've run it several times without issue. But seeing as how the Dyson brand, the actual correct brushes are only $30 to $35 online, I'm just going to order them so I have it for next time I have an issue. And I did. So it goes back together just as easily as it came apart. Um, it, I did make one little mistake on the short side brush. This long side went in easy, but it looks like at a glance the three splines coming out of the motor are all the same, but one is slightly different than the other two, so you got to kind of line them up right. You can see I got it in wrong here. It doesn't want to go all the way in, and I took a better look at it, and I can see that there's that one kind of like a keyway, and once I get it lined up right, it pops together pretty easily. There we go. Quick. And then putting this uh, little bumper back onto the bottom is a little bit tricky. You got to kind of make sure it grabs here in the front. If you pull on that and it comes back apart, it didn't quite engage properly. I had to take it back apart a couple times to make sure that was properly engaged. And then it's a little bit clumsy putting this head back on where you got to get the electronics lined up and everything kind of seated just right for that clip to want to seat properly. But fortunately, it's fixed, it's running, and I can go finish my job. All right. Hope it helped. Thanks for watching.